Welcome to Wild Pursuits with Cross Trail Outfitters, where we guide the next generation to Christ through the outdoors. Join us around the campfire as we share stories of faith, courage, and adventure. All right, everybody. Man, we're coming to you again from the mountains of West Virginia on Snowshoe Mountain specifically. We are at the very last day of our CTO National Family Retreat, and we're seizing this moment and sharing CTO stories with the different outfitters from across the country to bring these amazing stories to you. And today you're in for a treat. We got Jerry Vann from the Pungo River chapter in North Carolina, and I'm excited for you to hear Jerry's story because I was just visiting with Jerry here just a few minutes ago, saying that Jerry's at a stage in life. He still works full time. He's got grandkids. He's a great grandpa or a papa, or what do they call you?
Grandy.
Grandy. All right, he's a great grandy. I love it that everybody has their own special names. I'm getting ready to become a grandpa for the first time. This fall, I'm going to have two beautiful granddaughters, so I'm excited about all that happening. But he's at a stage in life to where, Jerry, why CTO? And we want to hear your story, kind of lead us up to what got you into CTO, and then just what's kept you, because you could go be a full-time grandpa, keep working, doing what you love to do that you're so good at, but yet you feel the Lord leading you to continue to run a chapter and to be an outfitter for us there in Pungo River.
Well, it's a calling, that's for sure. T.W. Allen started the chapter about 11 years ago.
Yeah.
His two boys were coming up.
T.W.'s an awesome man.
And I signed on with him from the very beginning as a guide.
Yeah.
I became his lead guide, more or less. And when I saw a need for someone to take the reins, I did. Why did I? Well, I love the kids. I tell people they keep me young.
Yeah.
And I need all that I can get these days. But I've been a outfitter now for going on 2 years.
Okay.
And
so when TW started 11 years ago, did you come on as a guide right then?
Yeah.
Right. So because you've been with us, I knew you've been with us for a long time.
We were going to church together, and we went to. He said, "Let's go over to this CTO banquet and check it out." So we went over to Tom.
Yeah.
I think it was one of his first banquets anyway.
Okay.
We went over to that, and he said, "What do you think?" I said, "We can do this." So my cousin and I signed on with him, to help him out.
Yeah.
We went to our church, got some people involved. They supported us, but they, didn't sign on or anything.
Sure, I got you.
They had other things going on, but they supported us. They give us a place to meet and things like that.
Okay.
And
So then you were a guide for about 11 years, 11 years. So you obviously sat around the campfires, you've been to sportsman's nights, you've been to the banquets, you've seen the transformation in the kids' lives, the families' lives, and you not just seen it, you were in it. You were in the trenches with TW and other volunteers working with it. So did it feel like when there was a need for somebody to come alongside TW and eventually take over that chapter, was it an easy decision? Just like, I can do that, or was it a process for you?
A lot of praying.
Okay.
I got up one morning and I told my wife, Karen, I said, well, I didn't tell her, I asked her. I said, "What do you think of me being a CTO outfitter?" She said, "What's took you so long?"
Oh, there you go. So
I've had her
so
support.
amazing, right?
I've had her support from the very beginning.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
And that helped a lot. I really couldn't do it without her.
Wow, man, that's awesome that you said that, Jerry. Because we probably don't talk about our wives enough, because if we don't have their support, because we're gone away on weekends.
Yeah.
Sometimes if you're going to a whole camp, you're there for a whole week, and it's just a lot, especially if you work full time. And so you work hard, and you work a lot of night shifts too.
Oh yeah,
don't you?
I work 2 weeks of days and 2 weeks of nights.
Yeah.
Out of a week. I mean, out of 2 weeks, I work 7 days or nights. But,
And that's
12-hour shifts.
That odd back and forth. That just stresses me out thinking about for you, because that back and forth, you get adjusted to this, and then you got to go back to that, and then in the middle of all that, and you throw in a weekend that you got to go back to days. And it might not work out with your nights and how that works. So that makes it hard. That tells me the true calling that you have for Cross Trail Outfitters, and being a part of that. That's amazing. Well, tell our listeners, what's one of your favorite CTO moments? It doesn't have to be a there I was. It doesn't have to be even a hunting. Just what you have a story that pops in your head. Probably got a lot of them, of why it just bore into your heart that you knew you needed to be an outfitter.
Well, one of the favorite things I tell people, when we started out, we had these 3 kids. It was Noah, Justin, and Nick.
Okay.
I tell people I've learned 3 things. When we go on an outing, if we go kayaking, Noah is always going to want to race me. He's always going to cheat, and he's always going to lose. And Justin, when we cook hot dogs,
that's great.
It's going to freak him out because I put mayonnaise on my hot dog and mustard on my Cheetos.
Whoa, okay, that's a new one for me too, Jerry. Mayonnaise on your hot dog?
Yeah, it just gives it a little extra
zing.
All
right, because I'm sitting here wrinkling my nose, but I'm sitting here telling you probably the next time I have a hot dog,
you're gonna have to try it. Just try it one time. And
sometimes a hot dog can use a little extra zing.
And Nick is always going to leave something in my truck. Most time it's a coat, shoes, most especially shoes, because he's got feet like a rock, So those 3 things I can always count on when we would go on outings.
That's awesome. And what I love about that story more than anything is these boys have been around for a while. And you remember their names, and you're talking about funny things, but you're talking about the fact they know that Jerry likes mayonnaise on his hot dogs. And you know how they think. And you know how if he gets in a kayak, he's going to want to race, and he's going to want to try to beat you. And he is going to lose because you're going to break your neck trying to beat him, right?
Yeah, well, it's been a while. He would probably beat me now. But
how old is he now, do you think?
Noah's in his early 20s.
Okay. Wow. See, that when you start talking about kids like that were little kids and now they're men. They're growing men. Last summer, I officiated 4 or 5 weddings, and all of them were CTO boys that were just little kids.
Right.
And now they're full-grown men getting married. I think that's just awesome to be able to know that. Again, if that stresses anything to our audience, really what Cross Trail Outfitters is, it's always about a relationship. It's always about, and the relationship doesn't just end. And we always say it's not a one-time Photoshop. I was talking with Jimmy last night when we were shooting his podcast, and that's exactly what he's about, is about forming relationships. And he said the number one thing that really drew him to Cross Trail Outfitters was he saw that we took relationships serious.
Right.
And that I'm not saying we don't have these kids that come and go, and there are some that we don't want. We want to try to get the ones that slip through the cracks.
Right.
But sometimes just things do happen due to their choice, not by ours. But we work very hard to keep that relationship going. So we can have another hot dog, put the mayonnaise on there, and have those conversations around a campfire, and provide those hunting and fishing moments to catch another fish, because those moments, it's changing those kids' life, and it's not about a fish. It's not about catching or shooting their first deer or shooting their 20th deer.
Right.
It's about the relationship that you have,
right.
And it sounds like you've got some great relationships and continue to do that.
And, I see them on a regular basis, all except for Nick. He is in the military now. He's stationed in Washington State.
Okay.
But he'll message me from time to time.
That's cool.
He messaged me a couple of weeks ago and asked me about something concerning kayaks. He's looking at getting him a kayak.
Okay.
It's good to still have that kind of relationship.
Yeah. Right before I came up here, I had a young man that I'm going to think, Kyle would be, and he was on our podcast like 15, 20 podcasts ago. What did Kyle? Oh, he just called and just said, "Hey, I know you're traveling all this summer." He said, "But whenever you got a second, can we please just sit down and talk for a while?
Yeah.
I don't know what it's all about." And he said, "I just need to talk."
Right.
And he's a full-grown man now.
Yeah.
Owns a farm and runs a little farm and has a full-time job and doing what he's saying, taking care of his grandma that lives with him. And I think that's discipleship. That's mentorship.
Yeah.
Even those relationships after they become a man, we're doing our best to keep up with those.
These boys know all they got to do is get a hold of me.
Yeah.
And I'm not that hard to get a hold of. I live within about a 2-mile radius. Most of the time I'm somewhere within 2 miles of home.
So are you saying coming to West Virginia is a big deal for you?
Well,
to get out of that 2-mile radius?
I do try to get out of it as often as I can. We go to Montana, try to go every 2 years.
Okay.
And we'll stay anywhere from a week to 2 weeks with friends.
What part of Montana do you guys go to?
It's the western side of the Rockies.
Okay. All right.
Little place called Trout Creek.
Okay.
Creek, as they call
Okay.
it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And, I've got friends out there that we lived out there for a while, but
okay.
Still got a lot of friends out there.
But I know we'll talk later too about this, but we got a guy that we're working with there in Helena.
Yeah.
So if any of your friends there in Montana know anybody, I know they're not living in Helena, but just more connections, more people, letting them know, hey, we got this guy. This is what's getting ready to potentially happen here very soon. Hopefully before the end of this year. That's another exciting news that we haven't talked a lot about on the podcast of just what God is doing in other states through other men that have found out about CTO, and we've just begun that again. The key word here seems to be relationships.
Yeah.
We're just forming a relationship. His name is Aaron Wright in the Helena area, and he's in military, looking at potentially retiring sometime in the pretty near future. And we've been talking with him for over a year.
Right.
And just with the process of that and keeping that relationship up going. And he came to his first summer camp in Wisconsin a week and a half ago. And that usually either will make a guy run, or he'll come in and say I'm all in.
Yeah.
And he's already told our Wisconsin folks that's who he is working with. He's just like, I'm more all in than ever now that he saw what God was doing at camp and how God was using him. He's just like, this is powerful stuff.
There's a lot to do out there.
Yeah.
As far as outings, every time I go, I see a different outing I can take kids on.
Yeah. What's your thing? What's Jerry's thing? Like your favorite? You like to hunt? You like to fish? Or you prefer one or the other? And if you do hunt, what do you prefer to hunt?
I've always been more of a big game hunter.
Okay.
Deer. I hunted some small game, birds, squirrels. Growing up, but deer was always my thing.
Deer is your thing?
Yeah, I like trying to match wits with a big old buck.
Yeah, absolutely.
I haven't done it too often, but I have scored a time or two.
That's awesome. I think it's neat. Some of our outfitters will do everybody's kind of got their gifting in the hunting world and in the fishing world, and there's kind of a preference of one or the other. And then if they are in the hunting world, it's a certain game that they like. Yeah. I'm a little bit of any big game.
Yeah.
I love elk, love deer, and probably even more of a turkey guy than I am all those things. But I think that's neat because what happens is then you end up probably doing more deer hunts, deer outings than you do anything. But one thing we try to do in CTO too is to try to diversify, try to do other things, other small game fishing outings. And do you guys ever cross pollinate with other chapters?
Yeah,
kind of connect with some other people. There?
Jesse and I usually, for the last several years, we've had a co-outing with Foothills or Triad. Yeah. Over the years at a little place near us called Lake Phelps.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a big bathtub. I mean, it's crystal clear water.
Really?
Nice bass.
I've never been there.
Bluegills. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful place, and I have access to a piece of property there that belongs to his grandson. He's got one grandson in the Plymouth chapter now, Roanoke River.
Yeah.
And he's had one that's going completely through. He's aged out.
Okay.
And he allows us to use his place. We'll go there. It's got like a picnic shelter there. We can cook and do all that.
All right.
Under the picnic shelter, and we'll put up tents, and
that's awesome.
We'll stay for the weekend.
Okay.
Take the kayaks and stuff, and just, of course, most of it you can wade. It's a lot of wade fishing.
Okay. So that tent you won last night,
it'll go to use. Yep,
our good friends at Core Equipment, actually, they're part of with Bushnell,
right.
and they provided they gave us a pile of tents from Core tents and some Bushnell tents, and one of their hub tents is a 4-man hub tent. We were giving that away the other night, and Jerry won it out of the outfitters. Yep. So that's awesome. I actually love that. It was one of my favorite. I didn't even pop it out, but when I was going through and seeing all the different ones, the easiness of that, it's basically like a ground blind, and you just get in and pop all the sides out and pop the top out, and you got a tent. Obviously, you got to stake it down.
Especially for my kids.
Yeah.
Simple is better.
Simple is good. Y'all use the KISS method?
Yeah.
Keep it simple, sweetie, or keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. Yeah. I love that. All right, well, kind of in closing here, Jerry, tell me, for you, do you have a favorite campfire time? Or if you don't have a specific one with a specific kid, just what is it about the campfire time that drives you on in terms of wanting to do better as an outfitter even?
I like to look at the kids, and I like to see the light come on. Or you see them start to think. You see them sitting there twiddling their thumbs or whatever, but when they stop that and they just kind of stare at the fire, you know you're getting to them. You're reaching.
Okay, that's awesome.
You may not know it, or you may not see any results from it that time, but you're starting to reach.
But
them.
you know that something's going on here, which means something's going on here, and they're listening to the message. Yeah. And then when they're challenged with that question of the day or whatever it may be, they're thinking.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes that in CTO, not everybody understands until you sit around a campfire. Yes, we do deliver sermons at times, but we want that kid to participate too, and to challenge them with a question of the day. And when they start thinking, that's where the relationship comes into play. When you see that happening at that campfire, now maybe something amazing happens at the campfire, maybe it doesn't. But then like the next morning, if you're going on a hunt and you're with that two boys or one of those, we never do one-on-one, but the two-on-one, but we're in a blind or in a stand. You saw the wheels turn, and you saw the Holy Spirit working in his life that night before. So now the next time in the blind, that conversation, you can just say, hey, I noticed last night, that seemed like the Holy Spirit was working. You were kind of quiet, and tell me about that. That's more of that relationship we're talking about. That's what we love to do, as you know, in CTO, is that relationship, is to challenge those kids spiritually. And for all of our listeners out there, I think most would, hopefully they know this, but there's a lot of people out there that may not understand that, because they look on Facebook and they're going to see big fish or a big deer or whatever it may be, or a turkey or that kind of thing, or just lately grizzly bears and black bears and even up in Louisiana alligators. All kinds of amazing stuff, right? And they just see that and they say, oh, that's cool, they're taking kids hunting and fishing. But man, every podcast, every time we ever talk about this, we always seem to always get back to the campfire, and we get back to what the Lord does in these kids' lives. And that's, as you know, that is where it's at. That is exactly where it's at. Well, one more question for her. I told you the last one was we'd close on that, but tell our listeners, if there's people sitting at home, you're in the latter stages of potentially retiring sometime soon, and kind of where you are in your stages of your life.
Not according to my wife.
Do what?
Not according to my wife.
Not according to your wife. She's going to make you work forever.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would take that, Jerry.
She's getting closer. I get, a little more she's agreeing with it.
Yeah. So when people are listening, and somebody will say, well, maybe they're in that part of their life, and they're thinking, man, I can't do anything, or I can't I just can't offer anything. What? How would you encourage them? What can they do, and some things that they can do to support Cross Trail Outfitters and to potentially even be involved?
Well, they can always make donations.
Sure.
Which is great, but the biggest donation they can make is their time.
Yeah. Okay.
They can hook up with a chapter, and they don't have to be an outfitter. They don't.
Yeah.
You know, they can just hook up with a chapter and help out with
Yeah.
cooking. You know, maybe somebody that can cook.
Yeah.
Whatever their talent is,
Yeah.
they can share it.
Yeah.
You know, may have somebody that's a good fisherman and wants to teach the kids to fish or hunt. Or I wouldn't turn down any help. You know, somebody come along and wanted to help us do something, we would find a place for them.
Yeah. That's great, Jerry. Time.
Yeah.
Time as much as anything. Yes, we do need land. We do need donations.
Oh, yeah, of course.
We do need prayer. We need all those things. But time. If you can give up some of your time. I know time's precious nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
But give up your time and your talents and your treasures. So if you're out there listening in, and maybe for the first time, regardless of where you are and what stage you are in your life, I would ask for you as our listeners to pray for Cross Trail Outfitters, specifically pray for Jerry and his chapter there on the Pungo River, and just pray for them for sure. But if you feel your heart tugging to maybe get involved, reach out to us if you're from his area. If you're not, and you're like, man, I don't have any chapters even anywhere close to us, call our 866 Kid Hunt, Google Cross Trail Outfitters, or you can go to our teamcto.org. That's take you straight to our website, and just message us. And you don't have to be the one going and leading that chapter. You don't have to be. You might be the connector. Yeah. Somebody might be in your mind or in your heart to do that. And when you say time, maybe you're that person that wants to bake cookies for outings.
Sure.
Maybe you're that person, like you said, that could cook. Maybe you're not even a hunter. Or you're sitting at home and you say, well, maybe I'm just at a stage in life I can't physically do anything. Yeah, you can. That's where the prayer comes into place. Follow us on Facebook. Look at these kids and say, I'm praying for that kid on the left, praying for that kid next to him. Do those things, because we all believe in the power of prayer, and we believe how strong that is, and we feel it, right, Jerry?
Yep.
I mean, we feel that.
Yep.
We're just finishing up our family retreat here, and just the fellowship, the worship together at night, just feeling that cohesiveness and that unity that we have in Christ, and that unity we have as an organization. Doesn't mean we're perfect. Doesn't mean we don't have our ups and downs, right? Being an outfitter is not easy.
Right.
But people might think it is, but it's not. It is work.
You need a good team behind you, because none of us can do it by ourselves.
Yeah.
I've had people say when I was a guide, oh, I love what you're doing with those kids. I love that. And I say, I'm not doing it. The Lord's doing it.
Yeah.
And the team behind me is helping me.
Yeah.
You know, because we had a really good team. You know, anything TW and I wanted to do, we had somebody that could help us do it.
That's a big
and they
deal.
still, I've got that Noah I was talking about, his mom and dad still help us, mainly right now with banquets, but and stuff. But they're going through some things in their life, like they're a little bit younger than I am, but they've got their two older kids. You know, their two kids, or one just got married, and you know, so they've had that.
They got a lot of life going on.
They got a lot of life going on, but they still want to help, which is great.
They saw the transformation in their son's life, using you and TW and others, and they want to keep giving, even though Noah's aged out. Yeah. But then Noah probably is involved too at different times.
He's a big help. He helps with banquets and stuff, and gets out there and beats the bushes trying to get donations and stuff. And so, he's a big help too.
That's awesome.
Him and Justin I was talking about. We've got a kid that came. Well, he's not a kid anymore. He's a grown man, but his name's Matthew. He came when he started with us when he was 18. So he started almost aged out. Well, he's one of my guides now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He does. And he's in college, but he helps when he can. You know. So.
Well, I like the two words that you're saying here: time and team.
Yeah.
It takes time and it takes team,
Yeah.
but not everybody has to give up all the time.
Right.
That's where the team comes into play. And when you have that good team, because a guy like you's doing this as a volunteer, so when you're doing it that way, a lot of people don't grasp that either. And so you're giving up a lot of your time. Which I appreciate. I know Cross Trail Outfitter appreciates that, and I know the kids and the other people in your chapter appreciate that as well. So, well, this is awesome, Jerry. I think we're speaking to a whole nother audience here, and it's been fun to get to know you, because I've known of you for years,
right?
But for many years actually. But just to get to know you and spend more time with you. I've been in North Carolina. Coming on these events like we have now allows us to spend more time together, to hear your heart. And I think that's what we're doing good here, and hearing your heart and how you want to give back, and of where you are even in your life right now. So I do appreciate that. So so if you guys would go to our website, go to teamcto.org. Check out Pungo River. You'll see Jerry there. You'll see everything God is doing there. And if you want to get plugged in there, great. If not, you want to get plugged in somewhere else, you're nowhere near that area or nowhere near North Carolina, you're in a whole nother state. Again, go to 866-KID-HUNT. Check us out. Help us get in your area. That's part of what we do. It's part of what I do. And we'd love to kind of get a chapter started so we can continue to grow the kingdom and grow Cross Trail Outfitters. So, Jerry, it's been a pleasure, brother. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate all the work that you do for the kingdom and all God is doing.
Thank you for all you're doing, getting these things together. I know that's not a simple or easy thing.
Well, I got a good team too.
Yeah, I realize that.
And that if I couldn't do it, I wouldn't be doing it by myself.
I understand.
I appreciate that. So to everybody's listening right now, I appreciate you joining us, and we will see you around the campfire with Wild Pursuits and Cross Trail Outfitters. Thank you for listening to Wild Pursuits with Cross Trail Outfitters. CTO is a hunting and fishing club with the mission of guiding the next generation to Christ through the outdoors. If you'd like to support us or are interested in getting involved, visit us on our website at teamcto.org. Links are in the description. Make sure to like and share our podcast. And join us next time around the campfire with Wild Pursuits.